Hi, this is Annie Manny with Paint the Moon Photoshop Actions, and today I'm going to take you through a little edit using our brand new set for elements called Fresh Wonderland 2. These actions are also available for Photoshop users in the Fresh and the Wonderland, two different sets of actions. And today we're going to start with this image here of my girls I took out in the sun here, and the perfect action for this one is called Pop My Flare. This is an action that's going to give you a lot of contrast and color, and it's great for backlit images like this. It helps brighten up the midtones, create a lot of contrast that might get washed out when your images are backlit, but it's also good for any kind of image that you want a strong color and contrast pop. We're going to go ahead and run this. Again, this is from the Fresh Wonderland 2 set, Pop My Flare. And it gives you, as all the Paint the Moon actions give you, a lot of layers to work with, so they are highly customizable to your image and your individual style. And we're going to see here that this is giving us a lot of color, a lot of contrast. Really brightens up the midtones. This little message here at the end tells us that if our blacks are too dark or whites too bright, that we can use a black brush to go over those areas that have gotten too bright or too dark, using the red layers here in your layers palette, and those ones are right here, Super Backlight Pop and Contrast Boost. And so I'm going to show you how you can do that. So since we're adding so much contrast to the image, sometimes it's good to go back over spots where it's gotten too dark. We don't want to muddy up our shadows, or too bright. This image looks fine to me. There's nothing that's clipped that looks too harsh, but I'm going to show you how you would do that if you need to. You can take your brush here or just hit B to get your brush tool. And to change sizes of your brush, you can hit your brackets key, left to go down and right to go up. And you see my brush is getting bigger there. And I'm going to select the Super Backlight Pop layer. And I'm going to make sure I have black selected with layer masks, white reveals, and black conceals. And you see all of our layer masks are white here because everything is showing up. If we want to hide some of these layers, or just paint on these layers to hide part of it, we would paint with black on the layer mask here. And so watch as I paint with black on that layer mask. You can see here the little black area, and that shows you what part is painted with black and therefore hidden. And you can see that that contrast there kind of disappeared. And I'll go back, and you can see the contrast comes back. So you can do that to adjust it. You can go back through. I would probably, with this image, take the entire actions layers down just a little bit in opacity. That is your yellow layer here, the Pop My Flare, and it'll say adjust all layers here on each of those actions layers if you want to adjust everything at once. So that's a little bit strong for my taste. So I would take it down maybe about 70%. And there's our before, and there's our after, and that's as quick and easy as that one is. It's a fabulously fun action and works really well on backlit images, but also works well at a lower opacity for your everyday images that you want to add a lot of color and contrast to. Because I do get asked a lot about what my settings are on my images and what camera, lens, and so forth I use. This image is shot with my D700. I was using my 35mm 1.4, and this was actually shot at aperture 1.4. In order to get that flare in there but not wash out the entire image, you see how I have the sun just at the edge of the barn there, just peeking out over the edge, and it gives us a nice little bit of flare coming through and a nice golden glow over the whole image. And so again, that was shot with a 35mm and at 1.4. So for those of you interested in those settings, there you go. Again, this was from our new Fresh Wonderland 2 set for elements. And for Photoshop users, there is also a brand new mini set of actions, which will be called Fresh Wonderland for Photoshop users, and that is going to include a handful of actions that were created brand new in addition to the Fresh and Wonderland sets you guys already have for Photoshop. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.